can turn the world on with a smile. You can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile. Well, it's your girl and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around, don't need to fake it. You can never down, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all.
Hi everybody, it's Jodie back with my weekly update on Thursday, January 6th, 2011. A whole new year and the year that I hope Mark is brought home. I wanted to share what a lot of you may already be experiencing. I got mail returned that I sent to Mark, and the previous things that have been returned to me haven't had any reason given on them, and they're supposed to let you know. So this one, they stamped it and said it's unauthorized material. Well, it's all news clippings and printouts about the Proposition 19 campaign in California and my involvement in the campaigning down there with Jeremiah when cannabis culture was on hand. So they said this was unauthorized, and a lot of people are getting books and Christmas cards that they sent and different letters returned to them, which is, I know it's a sinking feeling like, oh man, like, why wouldn't they let it in? But I encourage you to just keep sending letters to Mark. He said don't bother sending old news, send him current things, and hopefully it gets through, because sometimes things change. There's no real rules laid out for them. So Mark hasn't been notified of what's been rejected, even though the rules say that he's supposed to be. But keep writing him letters. He tries to write back to everybody that he can. Today he called and he had good news that he got his job back as the librarian, not really the librarian, but the top library position of an inmate in the D. Ray James Correctional Institution. So 12 cents an hour back every day working in there, but he's very happy because that means he gets to work with books again. He gets to help other inmates with all their paperwork and with their, you know, some of them need to get divorced, some of them need help translating, well, most of them need help translating, but they get Mark to help them with their paperwork and everything that they need. And Mark pretty much understands the way things run better than anyone else. So the warden came back and the assistant warden came back from their vacation and found out Mark had been fired while they were gone. So they reinstated him and said that they don't want people contacting the prison anymore complaining, because they got hundreds of people contacting them saying, you know, shame on you for letting Mark go and all that. So please don't harass the prisoner anyway. But they have been very gracious in letting Mark do what he wants to do, which is work in the library and help people. So I don't know if you should be sending books in yet. Mark is trying to fix the problem of not being allowed to donate to the library anymore. So Mark is working on finding out what the rules are, and I'll let you know more about what you can send. But keep sending letters for sure. He really does appreciate that. Now, I want to let you know about a friend of ours who came by, Tommy Chong. He stops by pretty regularly whenever he's in town, and he had called and said that he wants to visit and get an update on Mark. He had told me that he had a welcoming committee for Mark in Taft, so it's too bad Mark is on all the way over in Georgia. So Tommy decided that he was going to join the NDP and endorse our good friend Dana Larson in his run to be leader of the new Democratic Party of BC. So we had a great video that you can go watch on Pot TV where this is on. So click the Pot TV network link and look at the video of Tommy Chong endorsing Dana Larson as the leader and encouraging people to join the NDP. So check out the video. It got a lot of media attention, and I, as Dana's friend, am very proud of him for bringing the issue of cannabis prohibition and the war on drugs into the discussion, as we have no leaders right now for the two main parties in BC. So good for Dana. Go watch the video and share it on Facebook and Twitter. When I visited Mark last weekend, I was able to bring along a distinguished guest. Guy Gentner is a member of the New Democratic Party of BC, and he's a member of the legislature. And he has a daughter down in Florida, so he drove the 2 hours up to the prison to visit Mark with me on Sunday. And that was quite an honor. He said that he wanted Mark to be able to get home as soon as possible, and that he wanted to see what private prisons are like, because he, along with a lot of other of our elected representatives, are suspicious of the Harper Conservative government and their prison expansion plan, because we are worried that the private prison industry will be invited into Canada, and once that comes into play, it's very hard to get rid of it. So we want to find out and expose all of the problems with private prison industries. And if you've been reading Mark's blogs at cannabisculture.com, you'll understand how it's really a very bad place to be. I mean, Mark isn't with any Americans, and they have almost no rights and very limited. They don't have any exercise equipment. You know, the library has been very limited. That's why Mark's trying to help. And everything is, there's no accountability really is the problem. So even though the staff and the guards are friendly, and they, you know, some of them watch the videos of Mark and they know who he is, they can't really do anything, and they're just there to get a paycheck in a very desperate, devastated state. You know, there aren't a lot of jobs in the United States right now. They are in a very bad way. So when private prisons open up and offer these jobs, just watching over a bunch of foreign immigrants and, you know, low-level drug dealers that got caught as illegal immigrants, it's, you know, that's where they're going to go. That's their only real choice besides the military or selling drugs themselves or working at McDonald's if there's even a position available. It's just very sad that this industry takes advantage of a very desperate economic situation. So we need to work hard to prevent that from happening in Canada, and that means making sure that we don't pass the mandatory minimums that our government has been proposing. Bill S-10, you know, Parliament isn't sitting right now, so nothing's happening, but they might try to pass it in Parliament when they resume, and that will be very devastating for our country. So go to whyprohibition.ca and you can join up and get updates about how to stop Bill S-10 from passing. And our website, cannabisculture.com, also has a link so you can find out more and spread the word, because it's an expensive, dangerous policy that we must not allow to pass into law here in Canada. So thank you for tuning in. I encourage you to share the videos and go to our website regularly for news, and keep writing to Mark. Definitely write to the U.S. Department of Justice. I have that on the Free Mark website. They're going to be getting the application from Mark sometime this month or early February. So we need people's letters of support. I do ask that you go to Free Mark. Just take 20 minutes of your time to send a quick note and help get Mark Emery back home to Canada, where he belongs and where I desperately want him to be. So peace and pot, everybody. No more drug war.